Okay, so this is the Model X. I'm going to put some LED lights on the bottom of it. And the first thing that I did is remove the cover that goes along here. This is underneath the frunk area. And you just give it a nice little tug. It's the cover that's sitting over there. And then we can access some power right here. I know it's kind of dimly lit. Let me grab a flashlight. I'm doing this at night so I can see the cast of the light to make sure I'm happy with it before I install it. So, I believe I got good power here. I'll of course check that to make sure it's constant. We want this to be on constant even when the power of the unit, the Tesla itself is off. So yeah, we'll be wiring that directly to the 12 volt aux battery of the Tesla. So we're using a kit from Amazon, I believe. It's about $100. It is a from Opt7 or Opti7. I have it on my RV, Opt7, and it's a kit that has the aluminum channeled LEDs. Has good reviews. I should probably include a link to that if you're interested in getting that kit. I'm happy with it so far. I use it on my RV. The remotes, they look like they're infrared IR, but they're actually RF remotes somehow. I don't know how it works, but they don't need line of sight to the box in order to work. So I'm able to change my colors and everything from anywhere close to the RV. And it also comes with the nifty little keychain remote, which I probably will showcase later. But anyway, right now, the object of the game is to get from this area here to the underside of the Tesla, where we'll be mounting the LEDs with two-way adhesive. Really strong two-way adhesive. Okay, so this guy right here tested positive, and then I'm just going to ground it to the chassis over there to get my constant 12 volt. Alright, I just went back and put in an inline fuse. I probably put my cart before the horse. Anyway, I just tapped this, put a 3 amp fuse. It doesn't require much power for these LEDs. So a little 3 amp fuse, put it in line. I'm going to take this connection out, and I just figured it'd be smarter to put it right to the fuse connection. This is a little small, so I'm going to have to open that up, but if you get these ring connectors, get the one a little bit bigger than this one to go onto the power lead. Okay, so now we run our power lead, which is right there, and then the ground is right there. I put a little zip tie around it for now, down into the box. Then I connected one LED strip to the box just to make sure that we have a live unit and everything is going good before we actually do our real install. So the object of the game is to keep your electronics and your modules and everything as high as you can, so they don't get messed with by the rain and the elements. Being low, there's a lot more chance of corrosion the lower it is. So if you can, you would like to get these connections up high, get the modules and everything high up, and then only run the wires down to the LED strips. And also silicone around the connections, even if you have to use the extension cords that they give you, which they throw in a couple of these extensions, which will allow you to make the light, place the light further away from the main unit. Put a little bit of silicone around these after you connect them, and that'll help seal out the elements and make them last a lot longer. All right, onward we go. All right, so these are the bulbs or the LED strips as they sit here in the front of the Tesla Model X. Here are the different colors it'll do. And you can also wire this up to where if the box receives a 12 volt input off the line that is built into the box, there's a power line going directly into the box that's separate than this one with the connector that can be pulled in and out. There's one that's permanently mounted in the box. If you connect that to the door switch, when it opens and sends 12 volts to the box, the lights automatically all turn white. So if you want that feature, that's what that's for. But the normal power will be the one that is the cylindrical plug that plugs into the box. That's the normal power. All right, so now I got my trusty fiberglass fish rod. You can buy these anywhere pretty much, and they screw together if you need to go really long and go between walls and all kind of stuff. We don't need it that long here. Obviously, we're just going to get down through the front of the car here down to the ground. So if you put a light under there, you can see a path through, or if it's daytime, you can just look and see the daylight and just fish your wire through to the bottom underneath the car. There is a path there, even though it looks like it's solid plastic, it's not. So just get your wire down there, then you can maneuver it from there. All right, for my first one, I put my wire fish down. It's going through a little gap. It's kind of hard to see, but you can just picture there's a little areas that I can get this thing to go through. And I'm going to actually pull the first line up, and it's not going to use an extension. Hopefully this one will be long enough to reach up into the control box, which will be located around the fuse box area here. So the object of the game for me is to use the two extensions for the further ones away from this control box, which should be obviously the back one and the side one over here. And so hopefully I can get this control box to directly connect to the first one that's going toward the front of the car, right to left, and then the driver's side, back and forth, front to back. All right, so there you go. There's the rod on the other side. Got a little tape. Going to tape the connector to the tape and pull it up. That's how you get the connections from the bottom to the top. Probably would help to raise your Tesla if it has any kind of suspension that allows it to adjust, which I think this does, so I'm going to probably do that. Oh. There's the wire from the bottom right up to the top. Okay, so we are going to adjust the suspension up to very high. That'll give us more clearance underneath to work with. Now I got a lot more ground clearance to work with. Awesome. You can start to see the effect of the lights even though they're not mounted. All right. So as far as mounting these little guys, I'm going to use two-way tape. Prep the back surface really good with alcohol. And of course the mounting surface really good with alcohol. And then I use some Scotch two-way tape, which I'll show you. Get the strongest stuff you can get, which I think is about 30 pounds of holding force. If you do it right, it will not fall off. But just to be on the extra safe side, anywhere where I can catch a mounting point, I'm going to drill these holes out on the LED strip, and I'm going to actually run a stainless steel zip tie through it just for extra holding power. I don't want to drill any holes in this Tesla, even though this is just plastic and it's really no big deal. But if I can do an install without drilling anything in it, that would be optimum. So that's what I'm going for. So I drilled out the hole, and there's my stainless steel zip tie, which will help this light stay in a nice comfortable spot. Alright, so get you some rubbing alcohol in a spray bottle. By the way, this is also good for killing any flying insects, especially house flies. I call it fly dye. But anyway, it's just alcohol in a spray bottle. And spray down all the surfaces that you're going to two-way tape good. So as you can see, I just have this mounted with the stainless steel zip ties loosely until I clean it and then tape it. Then I'll of course tighten it all up so then it faces down and it's flat against the surface of the Tesla. So that's where we're at so far. It's looking good, it's going smooth. Hopefully it keeps going that way. Okay. So I mounted it just a hair back from this deflector here, make it a little more aerodynamic and maybe slightly less apt to get hit by something like a curb or something. But I put it back a little bit. I think it works good. So, and then you can see where the clamps, the stainless steel zip ties went through the plastic. Just as an extra bonus, then we have the two-way tape in a couple of places holding everything flush. Seems to be pretty sturdy and I think it'll hold up. Actually, the kit comes with 4 extensions, so it's making my job a little easier. So I'm fishing it through the wheel well here. Apologize, it's kind of dark. But there's an area right by the strut tower where you can get in, and then you obviously just got to fish it around. And I'm going to run it down here, and then that'll be the side strip. So we're at the side of the vehicle right now. So just figure out where you can, get through the wire where you want it, and then of course keep it free of anything that travels, moves, spins, anything like that. And just keep working your way around the car. So I turned the steering wheel and popped out these little retainer clips, these plastic clips, and that allows this to be a little more flexible, allowing me to fish my line a little easier to this side over here. Alright, so I'm done with this side, and I use these little quick clips I got at Home Depot. Of course, alcohol the surfaces before you try to attach these, and don't do it when it's really cold out. Right now it's probably 80 degrees, but you can see what's going on here. See the little clips holding the wire up until it gets to the light strip. And the wire's behind this panel right here. I know it's dark, but it's behind the panel, behind the tire there. And then it comes up right here into the control box. And so then I'm going to run 2 wires this way with extensions for that side and of course the rear light. I could have done it this side too, it doesn't really matter, the wires are plenty long. But that way I can do the bar across the back between the 2 rear tires. So once all that's done, zip tie it all in and then clean it up. And we'll see the finish. Just a quick tip. I bought this roll at Home Depot. It's about 20 bucks. This is that really strong 3M tape that they sell there. Mounting tape. It's 2-sided. Don't get anything else than this. Don't get the cheap stuff. Don't get the white foamy stuff. You need this stuff. Anyway, just take a blade, like a utility knife, and carefully push firmly and just kind of go in the center, and that'll make 2 strips, which is perfect for the width of these LED lights that are going underneath. Right now I have 3 mounted, so that's the other side over there. This is the passenger side, and then up front. So then I'm going to run my wiring all the way to the back. Actually, I'm using 2 extensions instead of 1 extension to go all the way to the back. But that's fine because I didn't use an extension on the front. So that's how it's working out. Then I'll run my little clips all the way through to connect to carry the wiring, and then I'll run one more in the back, and then it'll be done. So all in all, this took me a few hours, but it's worth it. Well, the back spoiler is a bit tricky at the back of the Tesla because of these airfoils back here for aerodynamics, and I don't want to drill into it, so I'm going to move that light pretty much actually in front of the rear wheels, which is a little far forward, but the effect still should be pretty good. But there's no flat mounting surface back here without modification to the airfoils, which I don't want to do. So that guy is going to go past the airfoils up there between the rear wheels. Should still be pretty good. All right, put the cover back on the Tesla, and so this is what it looks like. I know there's a lot of light competing here, but let me see if I can turn some of them off. Some of them are just on because they're hardwired. I'll let them leave you there. All right, so here's Junebug with the effects in it.
I just raised my suspension.
For what?
Just to see.
Oh, I had to raise it to get under there. You're so tight.
All right, we're gonna do this.
Here is the net effect of the cool lights on the Tesla.